What's up, my know-it-alls? It is time again for another Season 1 of the 2005 reboot of Doctor Who review with Mrs. Know-it-all. She has never seen the first season, and now she's absolutely going to see the first season. We're excited to talk more about it. This is, of course, Season 1 of the 2005 reboot. Episode 2, The End of the World. The Doctor takes Rose to the year 5 billion, where they land on a space station orbiting the Earth named Platform 1. Among the elite alien guests assembled to watch the Earth be destroyed by the expanding sun is Lady Cassandra, who takes pride in being the last pure human, though she's received many operations that have altered her image. It's discovered that Cassandra, to receive money for her many operations, plans to let the guests die and then profit from the stock increase of their competitors. She releases discrete robotic spiders all over Platform 1, and they start interfering with the systems. She departs via teleportation, and the spiders bring down the shields, causing harmful direct solar radiation to penetrate the station. The Doctor manages to reactivate the system and save Rose, after which he brings Cassandra back, and she ruptures from the intense solar heat. So, we're going to do a little differently this time. I gave you that recap because I just want to talk to Mrs. Know-it-all about what she thought of the episode versus spending a whole lot of time telling you guys a story that no doubt most of you already know. And if you don't, why are you watching this video? Seriously. But so yeah, that's the cut and dry version. So let's talk about this thing. Yeah, man. From the second that they show up, it's like culture shock for Rose.
It is, but she handles it like so well. She's more intrigued.
Yeah.
I feel like than she is like, I'm so scared.
No, for sure.
Yeah, like
for sure.
she's completely intrigued by it.
We get our first look at the Doctor. We already saw the sonic screwdriver. We get the first look at psychic paper. So psychic paper, psychic paper is a brand new thing for this iteration of the series. He's always had several different tools at his disposal: the sonic screwdriver, some other things, Canine the dog, and so this is the first time we see something brand new, and it was psychic paper. The paper is slightly psychic, shows you, because they're like, "Where are your tickets?" And he holds up the thing, and he's like, "Here we go. I'm the Doctor. My +1."
My +1.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, she's like really intrigued by it, and you can tell she's almost in awe over everything that she's seeing. And correct me if I'm wrong, they separated at one point, right?
Yeah, for a little while.
Yeah, for a little while. So she was able to kind of check everything out, and
it's a very big culture shock for her because, and they're even, as they're in the TARDIS, they're even saying she's going there. He's like, "Where do you want to go?" He's like, "How about this year? How about this year? How about that year?" And finally, he's like, "Oh, I got it.
I know what I'm going to do. Just what we're going to do."
Where he's taken her is the end of our Earth. And she even says, like, well, in school they always talked about one day the Earth's gonna from a sun that explodes or whatever. Yeah. And he goes, yeah, no, they did. They held it back with these shields, and now their money's run out, and they're just gonna let the Earth burn. So all the rich people are on Platform 1 to watch. And I dig that. I go, that I feel like that tracks.
Okay, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Now she did ask though, and now that you said that the rich people are watching. He does say that Earth is completely empty.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Right? Okay, I got a little nervous. So like, I misheard that when you said, the rich people are looking like, wait a minute, I missed something. No, okay, so yeah, it was completely abandoned.
They've all left.
But she's still really sad because even though it's 5 billion years into their future, that's her home. I mean, I'm just driving by my, grandmother's house in Chicago, which hasn't been her house for a million years. I feel like. That was her home, and it's all different now. So I can sympathize with that and her emotions there. Yeah,
it's super interesting seeing her deal with that and seeing that. What did you think of the part where the Doctor meets all the different aliens? Like how they're all coming out, they're all walking out.
Yeah, it's like you're kind of introduced to all these. I'm introduced to all these different species that I didn't know. I
loved that. There is like a ceremony about it where they're all like, here's a gift, here's this. There are these tree people who are they're direct descendants of the trees on here on Earth, but they have evolved. And so they're
there's
so
yeah.
they give a little clipping
Exactly.
and it's very adorable.
Oh, exactly.
And at one point the doctor's like, and I give you air from my lungs. And she's like, ooh, it's so intimate. And I'm like, of course you'd say that, tree woman. But like,
But not just that. Trees need that to live.
that's right. That's why I said it. Like, of course you
dioxide,
totally say that. But yeah, no.
The eggs and the eggs. We all know about the eggs.
A gift of peace in all. It's so great.
Far from peaceful.
Yeah,
I
dude.
mean,
They're so funny.
let's talk about Lady Cassandra. This
I
layer
love
of skin
her. I love her.
that is apparently a human.
She's had so much work done. She's perfectly flat. No wrinkles. Moisturize me.
And you can see her
moisturize me.
veins.
Everything.
Like pumping the blood through everything. I want to know where her brain was in a jar at the
That's
bottom.
right, that's right.
And she has no
Because-
nose. I mean, seriously,
That's right.
like that's like the ultimate
She's recently
nose
had
job.
her chin completely removed. I do love the fact that they as she's talking about Earth, because she's the last whatever, clearly she's had memory issues because of all the stuff that's going on, but she talks about, the wild something or other. She talks about animals that don't exist. She talks about places that are misnamed. It was brilliant. It was really cool. And then later on, her gift is an iPod. It's a giant jukebox. And then it plays a classic song from Earth for the goodbye of Earth. And it's Britney Spears Toxic. If people in the future think
that's an oldie.
Britney Spears Toxic is like
Explains
a
our
wonderful
history.
ballad, it's why? What's left, man? What's left? Anyway. I like the fact that Rose, after this whole introduction with all the aliens, she almost has like an anxiety attack. And she has to go back to the thing. And that's when the doctor does the little, it's my favorite word, jiggery pokery to her phone. So she can still call back home. And she does, and she hears her mom, and she's like, oh my God, okay, great, thanks. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna be at my friend Shreem's house, this and that. And she gets just a moment of normalcy before she goes back out to kind of experience everything. And that's when she meets the plumber, and she meets some other people, and you start to really see what's happening.
I found it interesting that when she's talking, was it her? I might be confused. Talking to someone like we can't talk.
Yeah, the plumber.
It was the plumber. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was the electrician or the plumber.
Yeah. She's like.
But like she speaks to the plumber and
the Blue Man Group lady.
Yeah, the Blue Man Group.
Because everybody who works on the thing has blue face. Literally, look at the Blue Man Group.
Yeah, right. And she was not used to people speaking to her, and she didn't have permission to speak. So part of me was just like, you're on. This is her life,
right?
Catering to these rich people, and Rose is far from that. So she, you know what I mean? So it's like that was kind of cool. That.
Yeah. No, and then I really like. There's this part where, so this is the first time. Remember. Brand spanking new, reestablishing things. That's what the series is doing. So the tree queen lady she has this little computer and she's having it scan him, and she's like, where's he from? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, and I guess the computer had trouble finding out, but it totally names him Time Lord. First time we hear Time Lord, and in the new era. And it made me excited. It made me excited to see. I was like, okay, I like it. So yeah, and then go ahead.
Well, and then I was impressed yet concerned with the amount of calm Rose had when the shield started coming down.
Yeah, and then
she was terrified, but she trusted the doctor enough to not be terrified. I also wanted to slap her around a little bit, be like, why aren't you moving to a different direction? It's like, seriously, it's like, when you yell at a television?
No, for real. Absolutely. But then, so then, of course, the doctor does, as the doctor will, figures the whole thing out. And what I liked is at the very end, he takes her back home and to her time. And they're sitting, they step out of the TARDIS into a busy street. And she's like, and he literally is like, my people are gone. And they died in the last Great Time War. And rather than get all deep with him, she's like, I smell chips. she's like, I want chips, which are like French fries. You want in America they're fries. But she's like, I want chips, and and it's so funny, and yeah, it's a nice normal moment for her to kind of bring her to reset her.
Yeah,
and it really does pave the way for the very next episode, which is really exciting as well.
And I think that also helped him understand her a little better on how she deals with anxiety and confusion and like that missing feeling, that pining for home feeling.
I feel like she made him remember, oh yeah, that's right, I got to be gentle with you guys. Like, he's like, you know what I mean? Because remember, these, I believe, are his first forays back into being the Doctor since the Time War. So he's really, he's very much like...
It's fresh to him, very new.
Yeah, so he's very much like, oh yeah, I got to be careful with you guys. Got it. I liked it. I liked the... so there you go. Now you know, if knowing is half the battle, you're halfway to being a know-it-all yourself. What is your rating for episode 2, The End of the World?
7. I'll go 7.
Okay.
I'll go 7.
Okay.
It was interesting. It was fun, but not like the first one. I think I was more excited maybe about the first one, which is why I gave it an 8. But the second one, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. I'm still into it.
You also, there's one last thing before I give my rating. You also see the tree lady with the Doctor, when they have to solve the problem, she sacrifices herself. This both begins and brings back a trend in Doctor Who, which is the Doctor inspiring people of anyone, other stripe, humans, races, other whatever, inspiring them to do great things, even at their own personal sacrifice. And it's one of those things that is later on they weaponize this idea, which is, oh yeah, no, you convince other people to do your fighting for you and blah 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 in a negative way. And he's always like, no, you're experiencing the same things I'm experiencing. And he tries to explain many times that he could die just as easily as they can. It's not like he can't. You know, he regenerates, but you catch him fast enough and that's done. So again, very interesting. I really liked the humanity of the Doctor, if that makes sense, because even he notices that, you know, he's like, yeah, it was a great personal sacrifice. So, all right, my rating is going to be an 8 again. Okay. I feel like these are some of the most consistent episodes that and honestly, I'm having just as much fun rewatching them as she did, and through her eyes, because I don't remember them being this good. And again, it's because I got swept up in the Tennant and Matt Smith excitement. They were great, but man, Eccleston he did a lot of heavy lifting in the beginning, man, and I don't think he crawled so Tennant and Matt Smith could walk and run respectively, and I think it's well worth watching. So if you haven't seen those, or if you haven't watched them in a long time, go back and watch them. So comment below. Let me know what you thought of this episode, or let Mrs. Know-It-All think of find out give her some tips as to what to look forward to in the future.
Actually, what's the next episode?
The Unquiet Dead. Unquiet Dead. That's the one that we watched. That you have seen out of context.
I'm gonna
before.
watch. Now I want to watch it in context.
Right. So this will be fun. This will be a lot of fun. And I think I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next week. Never forget.
Everyone loves a know-it-all.
That's right, guys. We'll see you then.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Tune in every Sunday for more series reviews with Mr. and Mrs. Know-It-All right here on YouTube.